Hello buddy, my name is Vu and today I'm in Worcester right now and I'm going to be asking the people around the area what they think the hardest sport in the world is. Let's go! What's your name?
My name's Evan. My name is Blake.
My name is Richard.
Stephanie Marie Powers.
My name is Say.
John Franzik.
Enrique Delgado.
I'm Tommy.
Cassidy.
Name is John.
My name is Sean. Louis Ator.
What do you think is the hardest sport in the world?
I think the hardest sport is golf.
I'd say the hardest sport in the world, to me, it's probably basketball.
Soccer.
I feel like the hardest sport in the world would be football.
Hardest sport in the world? I think it's soccer.
Hockey.
I'll say marathon running.
I'll probably go with surf. I'm gonna have to say ice hockey.
So I would say probably golf is the hardest sport in the world.
I think the hardest sport in the world is probably gymnastics.
I think soccer is the hardest sport in the world.
Why do you think that?
The reason being is I think it's a game of such minuscule details and accuracies. I only started playing a few years ago. It's super tough. You know, little things here or there can affect the whole game.
Oh man, just all the constant moving. I feel like you just gotta be really in shape, you know, just keep on running down the court.
The standing on their legs.
Because there's so many injuries and it takes so much effort.
It's a lot of conditioning that goes into soccer. A lot of you know, running up and down the field, a lot of footwork. So if you ask me, I think that's the most difficult sport.
Because it takes balance and coordination and massive strength and speed.
It's a lot of training, a lot of running, a lot of miles.
The water is constantly moving. It's impossible to have the same wave twice. It just doesn't occur.
It's one of those sports where no matter how long you played, you still have learning to do. And on top of that, it's on ice, you know, all the equipment. And always got to work hard to better yourself.
Because you're basically competing with yourself the whole time. You're just trying to get better and better and lowering that score that you accrue every single time.
Just because you have to use your body and contort it in different ways.
Just difficult teamness, so trying to control the ball with your feet. Like, it's pretty difficult, and building up the stamina to last 90 minutes in the game, it's pretty tough.
Have you played before?
I've been playing for like 2.5, 3 years now.
Oh yeah, definitely, it's my favorite sport.
Yeah, to a certain point.
Oh God, no. I wouldn't dare.
I myself have not played soccer, no.
No.
I didn't do marathon running, but I did track and field in college.
I've been surfing since I was 4. It never gets any easier. And you know, you surf your whole life and you still realize that everything's constantly changing. You can never have the same wave, you can never have the same feel in anything. Everything's constantly changing, and that's why I think it's the hardest thing.
I've played for almost 15 years now.
I played a lot, and I played a lot of different sports, and for me personally, it's been one of the hardest to be the most consistent at.
Or no?
Like that.
Yeah, I played growing up my whole life, so.
And the person previously said golf is the toughest sport in the world. Do you agree with that or no?
I do agree with that, yeah, definitely, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, golf, I cannot do that at all, so I agree with that.
No?
Not at all.
No? You think it's gymnastics?
Yeah, I think gymnastics.
The person before you said basketball is the hardest sport in the world. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, actually, they're wrong. They're all good sports.
The previous person before you said the hardest sport was soccer. Do you agree with that or no?
No.
No?
I definitely don't. So I can play soccer all day long. I got a messed up ankle. I broke my growth plate when I was like 13, so. And I'll still hacky sack, soccer, football. It's gotta be football.
Maybe it could be.
What do you
I'm
think?
not sure exactly.
Previous person before you said the hardest sport is football. Do you agree with that or no?
Football is the most dangerous sport, yeah. I don't think it's the most difficult sport. Yeah, I'm gonna still stick with my answer on soccer on that one.
The person previously said the hardest sport in the world is ice hockey. Do you agree with that statement or no?
I'd say skill-wise, probably.
training-wise that the training would do?
Yeah, ice hockey is definitely pretty hard, but I would say that one is more of like a team sport, so it's a little bit different than when it comes to golf, because that's just more individual. And like I said, it's really just more about competing against yourself when it comes to that. You know, I don't play any competitions or anything like that, so I don't really know. So all I can really say is just more from my personal experience.
The previous person before you said the hardest sport is marathon running. Do you agree with that or no?
Well, here's the thing with marathon running. Like, you either got it or you don't. Like, you gotta have that extra gear to go. You know what I mean? I think that it takes a specific person to be really good at something like surfing or marathon running. You gotta be athletic, you gotta have drive, you gotta have the will to push yourself past where you think you go. I don't disagree with that.
The person previously before you said the hardest sport is surfing. Do you agree with that or no?
Never surfed, so I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
The last person before you said the hardest sport was gymnastics. Do you agree with that?
I can see that. Yeah, that's a pretty hard sport too. I guess it just depends how I look at it. I don't really know anything about gymnastics, but I'm sure there's a lot of rigorous training that you have to go through to try to get really good. But just from my point of view, I still think soccer is a lot harder.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you for your time, man.
You're welcome. Take care.
No problem.